Alright, what's going on, guys? Try back again. Here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing some death predictions for the mid-season finale of The Walking Dead Season 4. Season 4, Episode 8, Too Far Gone. Alright, cool. So this was one that I really just couldn't wait to do. Talked about a little bit in the predictions video for this week upcoming, but wanted to do one in particular just focusing on which characters I think are going to die in this week's upcoming episode. It looks like it's going to be an epic one. It looks like it might be one of the best episodes ever. Probably the best in terms of action and in terms of, gunfights from what we've seen. Season 3's gun battles were good too, but this one, from the looks of it, looks like it's going to be higher stakes, even better, and more deaths in the actual battle itself, which is what a lot of us wanted to see at the end of Season 3. So that being said, who do I think is going to die? Let's take it from the top. We left off last week's episode, and of course we have Rick and Carl inside the fence. The governor standing outside the fence, and he notices Michonne and Herschel are there and raises his gun to Michonne. Crosshairs. So, between the two of them, in the promo, I've watched the promo over a few times now, and it is pretty clear to me that the governor does approach them. He does not just leave. He goes after them, and Herschel pulls out his gun. But it looks like Herschel is too slow to pull, and also too, Herschel's got trouble with actually killing people. He hasn't really done that, and also he. Well, I mean, in Season 2 at the bar, he was pretty good with that, but when he had to put down some walkers in Season 4, we got to see that it's not exactly just straight easy for him to start just, killing people or firing or things like this. And also, I would think he's pretty terrified of the governor, knowing what the governor has done and who he is. Plus, the governor's got the jump on him. So both him and Michonne, it looks like the governor's going to go after the both of them, and I think what's going to happen is I do think Herschel's going to die. I don't know if the governor's going to shoot him right then and there, or if maybe he'll shoot him down, or maybe he'll somehow manage to take him hostage, maybe shoot him in the arm or something, so he drops his gun, something of the sort. Maybe Michonne, maybe he'll take a shot at Michonne and she'll run, or he'll miss, or something like that. Because he does have the one eye, so his accuracy is not going to be that great. So I am predicting that Michonne's going to survive, I think. Herschel, I'm pretty certain is going to die. It just seems like the right time to me. Because he did have that great episode in Tournament earlier on this season. And anytime you have a character like that, it makes it more likely, I think, afterwards that he is going to die. So those two, Michonne survives, Herschel dies, I think. Do some predictions. Rick and Carl. No, I think both Rick and Carl are safe. I think it'd be really weird if they killed off Carl or Rick at this point in time. Even as strange as in the promo, it does look like you have Rick, who's kind of in jeopardy because he's standing open. You have the governor and all of his men with all their guns pointed at the gates ready to fire. It doesn't look good, but I'm fairly certain that Rick is going to survive. Daryl, yeah, Daryl's going to survive. I would say so. I can't see them killing Daryl. Not anytime soon anyway. So he's good. Glenn, I think because Glenn had the shock where he almost died from the illness, he's pretty much safe. Sasha, for some reason, I think she's a goner. She may even just die from the illness. We don't really know what kind of state she's in right now, but I think she's going to die one way or another. Tyreese, oh, that's an interesting one. Will Tyreese bite the dust? See, this is the thing about this episode, is that there's so many characters that could die. In the comic book series, if you think of the comic book series, it would make sense that Tyreese would die in this one, and he can't shoot for shit, and we know that. But for some reason, I want to say he's still fairly new in the TV series, and we haven't gotten as much development out of him, I feel like, versus the comic book series. So I kind of want to say for Tyreese that he's probably going to survive. All the other characters in Rick's group, Maggie, I think she'll make it. I think she'll survive. Beth, that's an interesting one. I've thought that Beth was going to die for a while. I really have. And at the same time, she's watching over Judy, right? Who, in the comic book series, spoilers for anyone who intends to read it and hasn't already, even though these chapters are like 6 years old or whatever, something like that. At least 4, I think, years old. I think it's closer to 5 or 6 now. But yeah, I think with her, I want to say that I think she will die too. But it's hard to say, because if they're going to kill off, see, how are they going to kill off the baby on cable television? It would just be so, oh man, that's going to be a tough one. How are they going to kill off the baby if they do? They could go the same route as the comic book series. Those of you who have read it know exactly what I'm talking about. And do the same type of thing, and then have Lilly turn on Brian, or she thinks he's Brian, right? She thinks that's his name, and kill him for it, or something like that. But that would be too predictable, because it would be the same as the comic book series. So that's why I tend to think that they're not going to go that route, because it would be way too predictable. And for a while now, they have not been doing that. Like even Shane's death, for example. It was a little predictable, but it wasn't the same as the comic book series. Dale's death, not the same as the comic book series. Andrea's, not the same. Laurie's, not the same. So I think that that's kind of safe to say that that won't happen, because in the comic book series it did happen that way. It'd be too predictable. So that's most of Rick's side. I mean, there are a lot of other members and stuff that we don't know so well and things like that that are part of the group. But in terms of Rick's core group, who do I think is going to die from it? Herschel, yeah, I think so. Beth could be. Judy could be, but I think it's a 2-for-1 deal. If you're going to kill one, you got to kill them both, right? Beth and Judy. Man, because she's got the baby, I don't know. For the character she is, I think she would die pretty soon, but because she's got the baby and she has to take care of it, I would say maybe not. So that one I'm not really sure about. Tyreese, I'm unsure about. I can't really, for a prediction, I can't really say one way or another. He could, but I don't think he will. Sasha, I think so. Glenn, no. Maggie, no. Daryl, no. Carl, no. Rick, no. And I think that's probably going to be it. Maybe just lots of other random characters that are part of Rick's group that were either sick or are okay, that type of thing, and are going to run out and try to help out, that type of situation. But I do think there are going to be a lot of deaths there. The governor's side. Let's switch to his side. Talk about that for a second. The governor himself, man, that is a tough one. Okay, well we'll save him for last. Best for last. The others, Mitch. The tank operator. Well, if they kill the tank operator, then the tank becomes kind of useless, because then they won't really know how to operate it properly. So in the promo, it looks like he is kind of in a position. He's not inside the tank from what I saw in the promo. He's like up in the back of it. So he is. It is possible they could shoot him down. If they do, that would be a big advantage for their side, and then they'd be able to sort of take the tank out of the equation, at least somewhat, right? Disable it somewhat. So for him, I think they can kill off Mitch. I don't really think that would cause any kind of problems, because he doesn't really seem to me like a character that's going to ever get that fleshed out anyway. So he could. All of the new members of the governor's new group, every single one of them, I think at least probably half of them will die, or a good amount of them will die, because they're nameless for the most part. Meghan, I don't. That's a tough one. Will they kill off Meghan? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think anyone in Rick's group's going to shoot her down. I don't think the governor would bring her either to the fight, would he? So that wouldn't make sense. So no. Tara, yeah, I think they're going to kill Tara off. I do think so, because she thinks she's so tough and all that kind of stuff. And I think she's going to go down. I think she's going to die. Her girlfriend, yeah, I think so too. Let's see, who else we got? Lilly, the governor's chick. That's tough to say, man. No, I think she'll survive. And then finally, that's pretty much everybody. The governor himself. Oh, man. At this point, I actually want to see him survive. But I don't think they're going to... I think they're going to kill him now. I think they are. Man, that's a tough one, though. What if they did keep him alive? Man, that would be weird, wouldn't it? And he took over the prison. And then maybe we could see him in like the next season or something, or later on, or maybe he would just fade off the show, because we may not see his perspective again, because we'd be refocused on Rick and never see scenes with him again. They could do something like that, kind of like what they've done with Carol so far. Oh, geez, I almost forgot about Carol. So it goes off on their own, and then we don't see them in the show anymore. maybe they could do something like that with the governor's group. Man, it's really interesting to think about what they will have in store for us. So with the governor, I'm going to say I think he'll die within the next couple episodes. Maybe not this mid-season finale, maybe the returning episode. After when we start back up in February, episode 9. But Carol, I think Carol's going to show up like the last minute to help out. But I don't think she's going to die. I think she's going to survive. Or somehow Rick's group will end up finding Carol. Something like that. So I probably missed a few characters here. I mean, we got a lot of characters in the show right now. Probably some of the members from Rick's group that I haven't thought about because of how we've had a few episodes of just the governor, 2 episodes of just the governor's side. So if you guys want to hear more predictions about, if you haven't seen my predictions video for this week's episode, check that out. Talked a lot about the overall general direction where I think they're going with it. Also did one talking about who I'm rooting for, so check that out too. And if you haven't seen my review for last week's episode, you want to watch it, go ahead and check that out. And I think that's pretty much it for video ideas for this upcoming episode anyway. Enough predictions for this. And I do have some other ideas, maybe do a character spotlight on the governor, but I may wait until after the mid-season finale to do that. So let me know what you guys think. What are your death predictions? Because there's so many characters, how about you guys in the comments just list off the ones that you think are going to bite the dust. So list off who you think are going to die, who you think could die. Those are my thoughts. Anyway, I'll call it here. That's it for this video, guys. I'll see you for the next one. This is Trev, and I'm saying peace.